a $70 million Ferrari 250 GTO to the weirdest car you have ever seen. This is the Billionaire Cars Tier List. First, we have Richard Branson, the man who treats the world like his personal theme park, owns the Gibbs Aquata, a $250,000 car that doubles as a boat because regular roads are clearly too boring for a billionaire. This amphibious ride isn't just for show. Branson once used it to cross the English Channel in under 2 hours, setting a record while the rest of us struggled to find decent parking. A tier for being a James Bond fever dream with a side of billionaire absurdity. Elon Musk, the guy who made electric cars cool and rocket science a casual dinner topic, owns the 1977 Lotus Esprit submarine car. Yes, the actual Bond car from The Spy Who Loved Me. Because when you're worth over $200 billion, practicality is optional, and nostalgia comes with a 7-figure price tag. Musk reportedly bought it at an auction for nearly $1 million, probably while laughing at how most of us still finance our cars. It's a quirky flex, but considering he's trying to colonize Mars, a movie prop that half works underwater feels oddly fitting. Solid B tier. Cool enough to impress, but let's be honest, it's one weird engineering mishap away from becoming Musk's most expensive bath toy. Now we go to Jeff Bezos, the man who revolutionized online shopping and crushed the hopes of brick-and-mortar stores everywhere, drove a 1996 Honda Accord well into his billionaire years. Yes, the guy worth $150+ billion was cruising around in a car you'd find in the for sale section of Craigslist under reliable but ugly. Bezos has said it was a symbol of frugality, but let's be honest, it's also the car of a guy who knew he didn't have to impress anyone because he was too busy plotting world domination from his garage. Let's be honest, the 1996 Honda Accord is not what you'd call a head-turner. It looks like it was designed by someone who was given 20 minutes and a ruler. But hey, it got him from point A to point B, and that's all Bezos needed while building the empire that would eventually crush small businesses everywhere. So, we give it a strong C tier. Roman Abramovich, the man who turned owning Chelsea FC into a billionaire flex, has a car collection worth more than most countries' GDPs. But his crown jewel is his Pagani Zonda Roadster. This $1.5 million Italian hypercar is as subtle as a gold-plated sledgehammer, boasting a V12 engine that screams, "I could buy your entire neighborhood and still have change for a yacht." It's the perfect car for a guy whose net worth makes entire nations sweat, but let's be real, Abramovich probably uses it to pick up groceries because he can. The Zonda Roadster is all about excess. Handcrafted, faster than a politician dodging questions, and louder than Abramovich's lawyers in a courtroom. However, we place this one in an F tier, not because it isn't incredible, but because driving it during a geopolitical scandal is the billionaire equivalent of holding up a neon, "Come and get me" sign. On the other hand, Donald Trump.
Every time I think about Trump, I get allergic.
Now the 47th president of the United States is back in style, and so is the Beast, his new presidential limousine. This armored fortress on wheels costs a casual $1.5 million and is essentially a tank in a tailored suit. It's got bulletproof windows, run-flat tires, and even a blood supply on board, because nothing screams, "I'm ready for anything," like keeping your own blood type in the glove compartment. Rumor has it, the car is so secure it could survive an apocalypse, though it's more likely to be used for trips to Trump Tower and golf courses than a Mad Max scenario. The interior is pure Trump. Gold accents, luxury leather, and enough tech to make it feel like a mobile Oval Office. It's also said to be equipped with tear gas cannons and defensive measures, because who needs subtlety when you've got a car that doubles as a rolling panic room? Solid S tier. Imagine rolling up to your destination in a Mercedes SL 600 that's covered in 300,000 diamonds. That's exactly the level of excess Prince Al-Walid bin Talal decided was necessary for his $4.8 million ride. And no, that's not a typo, this car is literally covered in diamonds. It's like if a luxury car and a jewelry store had a wild night together and decided to make a baby. It's safe to say that when you've got that much bling on your ride, you're not just rolling up to the grocery store. You're announcing to the world, "I'm richer than you, and I have enough diamonds to shame even the Queen of England." But hey, if you're a billionaire, a few thousand extra bucks to buff out a diamond scratch probably isn't a big deal. B tier. Bernard Arnault, the French billionaire behind LVMH, doesn't just collect luxury goods. He collects cars that make you question your life choices. His prized possession? The Bugatti La Voiture Noire, valued at around $18 million. It's the most expensive new car ever sold, and it's got everything you'd expect from a car that costs more than most people's homes. Powered by an 8.0-liter quad-turbocharged W16 engine, this car goes from 0 to 60 in under 2.5 seconds. Because why wouldn't you want to accelerate faster than your hopes and dreams? Now, Bernard isn't just sitting in his car like an average person. He's rolling through the streets of Paris in a piece of automotive history. This car was designed specifically for him, blending the elegance of Bugatti with Arnault's taste for understated luxury. And speaking of his car collection, Arnault is known for switching cars like we switch outfits. From his multiple Ferraris to an impressive array of Rolls-Royces, he's not afraid to flaunt his automotive taste. Compared to other billionaires' car collections, Arnault's is straight up A tier. because he doesn't just have cars, he has art on wheels. Sir Philip Green, the British retail mogul whose empire includes Topshop, clearly has a taste for the finer things in life, like his Rolls-Royce Dawn. This $350,000 drop-top luxury ride is the automotive equivalent of rolling out of bed in a velvet bathrobe. As it screams both, I'm rich, and I'm probably trying too hard to remind you. The Dawn has all the bells and whistles, a handcrafted interior, a 6.6-liter V12 engine, and enough polish to reflect your envy back at you. But let's be real, Sir Philip's cars are about as subtle as a neon sign flashing, "I'm a billionaire." We take this one to D tier. But imagine cruising through the streets in a Bentley Continental GT, the $200,000 luxury ride that blends power with sophistication. With its sleek curves and a 6.0-liter W12 engine, this car screams success, but not in the subtle way. It's more like, I got rich selling discounted sports gear, but now I'm here to remind you that I've made it. The leather interior and all the bells and whistles make it undeniably stylish, but it feels like a little bit of a contradiction, just like Mike Ashley's business empire. Solid C tier, because while it looks great, there's always that lingering sense that it's not quite as polished as it thinks it is. Kanye West, the self-proclaimed Yeezus, doesn't just make waves in music and fashion. He's a certified heavyweight in the rare car game too. Among the highlights of his collection is the Prombrun Red Diamond SUV, a ride that feels less like a car and more like a tank Kanye stole from a dystopian future. Built by Darts, a company known for making bulletproof vehicles for the ultra-wealthy and mildly paranoid. Because nothing screams humble beginnings like rolling up in a vehicle that costs nearly $1.5 million and could survive a small war. Another standout in his garage is the Lamborghini Aventador gifted by Kim Kardashian for his birthday. Sweet, right? Except Kanye's appreciation for the car lasted just long enough for it to get crushed by his own security gate. Yep, within months of receiving the $750,000 gift, the Aventador was badly scratched because someone forgot how to properly use a remote control. The stories don't stop there. Kanye's obsession with rare cars is legendary. At one point, he considered getting a custom Bugatti line with fur. Yes, fur, because, and I quote, "No one's done it before." Thankfully, someone talked him out of it, sparing PETA from their inevitable Twitter meltdown. Kanye's collection might not have the history of Ralph Lauren's or the longevity of Jay Leno's, but in true Kanye fashion, it's loud, over the top, and unapologetically designed to make you say, why? God tier. Finally, we have Sir Anthony Bamford, the British billionaire behind JCB, clearly knows how to spend his money on some serious car art, and his $70 million Ferrari 250 GTO is a prime example of that. Not only is this car one of the most coveted classic cars in the world, but it's also so rare and exclusive that owning one basically makes you a member of the elite club. The 250 GTO is a masterpiece of engineering, combining speed and beauty in a way that makes every other car on the road look like a toy. Bamford's love for cars is no secret. He's known to have a garage full of rare vehicles, including some of the most expensive and well-preserved cars in existence. But what's really interesting about Bamford's 250 GTO is that it's not just a trophy sitting in a garage. He's been spotted taking it for drives, which is kind of a bold move when you're talking about a car worth more than most people's houses. And it's not like he bought it to just park it in a museum. He clearly enjoys the thrill of the ride, just like the car was meant to be enjoyed. However, it's a little dark to think that every time Bamford takes this thing out, he's driving around in a car worth more than entire neighborhoods. It's like buying a priceless painting and using it as a coffee table. Solid S tier, of course. The Ferrari 250 GTO is more than just a car. It's a symbol of ultimate wealth and taste.